Hello, everybody. This is the sixth episode of the Agency Scale podcast. Still workshopping a name, so we'll figure out if we're going to call it Agency Scale or something else probably next week. But everyone in there, bear with us. We got Serge here, who's in Montreal, Canada, and he consults with agencies and runs an agency himself. I'll give him a second to introduce himself and let y'all know what he does.
So hi everyone, my name is Serge. I'm currently based in Montreal, like Lucas said. So I run a consulting business where we help agencies, but not just agencies, but really anyone running a high ticket offer or service business online, build new cost-effective acquisition systems online.
Yeah.
And scale past 50 or more per month, 50K per month.
And Serge, one thing you do, which I find niche about you, and actually something that you showed us how to do, and was very, we worked with you, and I felt like was very valuable, was learning how to prospect on Instagram. I don't think anyone really knows that they can do B2B prospecting on Instagram, to be honest. Like, I actually just talked to a pretty massive agency the other day, and they had no idea you could even do it. I mean, actually, let me phrase it. I talked to probably one of the largest agencies, and they had no idea you could do it. So I'm curious, like, share some wisdom, at least high level. Like, how did you figure out the channel? What are you willing to share with people?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, 100%. So essentially my story, I think I need to go over the story for people to really understand. So I started an advertising agency, right? I started up with an advertising agency in 2019, back in November. I bought access to a course. But after going through that course, I noticed that it didn't really teach anything about outbound prospecting, right? Ended up going through some courses about outbound prospecting, and I ended up selling my customers on my advertising services, but didn't end up having a budget for ads. So I was like, well, I still need to serve them. And there were business coaches and consultants. So I ended up just duplicating the same process I actually used to get them on a call, sell them, to get them high meetings. And after doing that, I had access to an audience of agency owners. So I was like, well, does anybody need help doing some appointment setting? So ended up pivoting to building an appointment setting agency, and scaled it to over 30K per month in 90 days. But one thing happened where I was working with a lot of e-commerce. A lot of people who run e-commerce agencies were struggling a lot to book meetings, and I knew that email is pretty hard to scale in a way.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's really painful. But the job that I had prior to going all full-time in, so I've actually been in business for like maybe less than 10 months. I was working for an e-commerce company. It was a meal kit brand. They're making like 400 million in revenue every year now. And one thing that I noticed is they have a customer service rep or a manager who's actually managing the social platforms, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, is it possible for actually, instead of outreaching through channels that people normally outreach in, like emails, LinkedIn, find the owners, can we actually use the same like door that customers use to communicate with the team to actually get information of the decision maker? Mm-hmm. And ended up signing my first customer, who was an e-commerce agency, and tested it out. I didn't know if it would work, but first literally my brand that gave us an email, he sent us a quick video and they booked a call.
Yeah, and that actually is a big critical piece of this, I think, which is, and we do it a lot too. And I felt like you incorporated into your process, which I felt was really smart. Like you had our team create videos, like personalized videos, which definitely I think improved the show up rates. Like, give me this podcast is super big on numbers, so statistics and everything. Yeah. Like, if you don't have like client statistics, maybe you can give us just some ballpark like statistics that you see when you're doing these videos. Like, what's the improvement from doing a video versus not doing a video? And like, what does that video consist of? And why should a company do video marketing when they do outreach? Right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So most people, what they do is they rely a lot on like the copy that they send, right? The offer, things like that, right? But when I started the appointment setting business, I was like, well, I need to go above and beyond. I need to compete, right, with people. So I was like, well, how can you compete with people on words? It's almost impossible. There will always be someone who can also write the same copy as you. So I was listening to this presentation by Charlie Munger where he went over like the different misjudgments that human makes, like different biases, and he went over this reciprocity bias and ended up just having some like confirmation bias when I read like the book by Robert Cialdini or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, is that
Where he also
Persuasion?
goes-
Right? Is that what it's called? Persuasion? Something like that?
Yeah, Persuasion, exactly.
Pull that one up.
I
one
ended up
time.
reading that like if you ask someone something and he does you a favor, he's actually more open to doing you another favor. So I was like, well, is it possible for us to build a process where we ask prospects for a favor before actually try to even pitch them anything? So let's say when we go on Instagram, we used to ask for brands to give us their emails, and then we send them a video. So we actually get micro commitments, and we send them a video, so it actually induces the reciprocity bias where they're like, oh wow, these guys actually created a short video for us, and they're not actually long videos, like 5 minutes is enough. And we actually get like maybe 8 to 4. I think one of your campaign was probably one of the most performing campaign. I think it's because of your service.
But or because of this guy right
14%.
Here, you know, Andrew with the mustache. Like
my videos were 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's just because I'm such an e-commerce nerd. So I was just like, you need to do this, this, and this. But the concept is the same, right?
Right.
You want to provide as much value as humanly possible.
100%.
So,
have you seen a difference? Let me ask you this: have you seen a? Oh, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Yeah.
There might be.
No, I was just going to cover like the metrics.
Oh yeah.
You can ask the question.
Yeah. Sorry. There's a little delay. I was going to ask you more about those metrics, which was essentially, what have you seen as like the ideal length of time for a video? Do you see if does it actually improve anything if the video is longer?
No, I don't think if it's above like 8-9 minutes, I think people don't actually get to that call to action at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had meetings booked from 2-minute videos, but I would say that the best is around 4 to 8 minutes.
Here's been my experience doing hundreds of those videos. Nobody gets to the end, but they see me talking so much that by the time they get on the call, they're like a lot more interested in working together because they know how knowledgeable I am in the subject. That being said, on the calls, I would be like, yeah, so, how much of the video do you get through? And they're like, I was 4 minutes in, and then I was convinced, and then I just set that up. So
you booked the call.
I definitely would recommend going with what I did.
Got it. Well, this is super interesting. Maybe just for a few minutes here, we can ask about how to really, I'm going to make that the headline of this show, obviously, which is scale to $30,000 a month in 90 days. It's hard to do for people. How did you do it? What was the difficult part about it? What was the easiest part about it?
Yeah, I think the key insight that a lot of people are starting service businesses is they try to go and sell to people that they don't have access to. I think if you wanna really go from like forget even 30K. I think 30K was limited because of the kind of business I was running, like done free appointment setting. It's almost crazy it's hard to scale. I mean, you guys have done it though, but I don't know how you guys do it. But I think the secret is really having an audience. So like you have an audience, you're gonna make 7 figures, like regardless of what you do, right? So I think my secret was I started an appointment setting agency, right? I said that I was helping at first coaches, but I ended up being like, I looked around, right? I just took a step back and observed who could actually benefit from this new skill set that I developed. And I was like, where there are 3,000 agency owners in part of a group, I was like, well, I could service them. And that simple key insight was like, yeah, just go back and sell the insights you have to the same people who are stuck where you were at. And that's really it. No secret meeting strategies. Like I had an audience.
That's awesome. Well, I don't want to dominate the conversation. Andrew, Jordan, do you guys have any questions or thoughts?
I mean, I back up what he says. I found you on a Facebook post. I don't even know how I got in your network. In fact, I think I was using Facebook automation to get in front of more agency owners, and then you just fell into that funnel. And I was scrolling through my feed, and then I saw your video, which is again the same concept. You were providing such detailed value, explaining like A to Z what needs to get done. And I was just like, this guy knows his stuff. And then we got on a call.
Yeah.
So I got my systems question. So I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs or agency founders, right, who they're limited on time, right? I view everything as an operations guy, an opportunity cost. If I'm doing this means I'm not doing something else. Obviously, when it comes to building your funnel and selling, like the most important thing is like you want the highest leverage activity. And someone like Andrew, before meeting you, or even me, like as marketers, we're thinking like, how can I blast out 10,000 people so I can get a 0.05 conversion rate, but I also don't have to put any time to it. So like, what's your strategy on using this repetitive tasks or motion to get some sort of economies of scale? Or is it just because you know you're going to get between 8 to 15% like responses, and you know your sales numbers, that you just are able to logically understand the ROI you're getting on your time? Which is it?
Like for our process, for my own like growth?
For your outreach, like what's that? How do you scale that?
So I think the key to scaling is just prioritizing your sales pitch. So like I'm not really like a systems guy. Like I don't have 10,000 automations going. What I do is I've built my business just around virtual assistants and building video sales letters.
Are you building a custom one for each person, or is it?
No.
Okay, that's where I'm getting at, right? Yeah. Because I have a Loom video. It's 1 minute. My numbers suck. They are very bad. But I've been complacent because I get enough over a larger sample size where it's like my funnel's fine. So how can you create a value added video that's long enough where people are interested? Because I've seen with like Lucas or Andrew, when you're working as an agency, you can go to someone's page or through SEMrush or like through these tools, figure out where they're not optimizing. But how can you create a templated video where you're still able to scale it, but that's value?
Yeah. I think you need to, so the idea is I don't go into creating a video sales letter. I ask myself like, what am I going to sell? I actually focus on because in order for people to really watch a video that is 10 minutes long, 20 minutes long, 30 minutes, they need to go into it looking for a solution. So the video that I'll create is literally like a value video, but I'm pitching my offer. So let's say an example could be like, let's say I want to share the inside of Instagram outreach, right? But I want to actually use a video to educate them on our processes and then get them on a call. Well, I'll say, hey, it's time to actually, you're struggling through email, right? You're not able to book calls. So you tell them about what they're currently struggling with, and then you bring in a new insight. Hey, you could actually be getting 10 brands every day giving you their emails for you to sell them, right? So I pitch that. I educate them on the process, literally from A to Z. A lot of people try to keep the insights to themselves, but it's like nobody will just take your information and go implement it themselves. Nobody does that, right? So I just literally educate them on the whole process. And at the end, I'm like, hey, if you're interested, I'd definitely love to, not to get you on a call and sell you, but actually love to get you on a call and actually walk you through the process. And then,
brilliant. Yeah. I love it.
Well, and also one of the things we found, we did, I think at this point, like 2,000 custom videos where every single one of them was probably 2 minutes long from our BDR team over the last 12 months. The one thing that they always say when they hop on the call is like, I'm only hopping on the call because you made a video. That's like a big thing. So keep it in mind.
That's a good call about that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I will say too, like this is validated. The initial campaign, like for instance that I did back in the day using my team, that with video, I made like 20 videos or 40 videos or something. I booked like 5-10 meetings. It took me like 20 hours. I wasn't doing the prospect. I was just making the video part. And then from those initial, and I have like every single client that I sent that video for in a folder with the Loom video I made in that folder. They have since paid us like 200 grand for 20 hours of time. Right. So it's like, you can't get ROIs like that anywhere else. That's how you maximize your time as an agency owner. Is you make it like super niche, and it's also very flattering too, because if you're an agency owner and you're taking the time to like make a video, you're like not just doing a spray and pray approach. You're actually like really helping them out. So we try to do that. Not all we try to do the next best thing for clients that can't make videos, but I always encourage people to make their own videos if they have the time. It's a very good approach.
Yeah.
What do you use, Serge? What of the tools you are willing to share, are there any tools or software that you use that would be helpful for other agency owners that are good? Or is that all secret? You can keep it a secret if you want.
Yeah, no, not really.
Okay.
It's just because I'm not really that, like, operation-wise, I'm not really the best. I'm just good at just signing deals and stuff like that. But we don't use many softwares. I was even on using Slack, but I stopped it because I had like over 100 people on there, and they were trying to charge me like $800 a month. I'm like, yeah, hell no. So, but the tools we use is really Go Higher Level. We just actually recently started using it. We've moved our customers to Discord. We use simple stuff like Calendly and really just the little things you need.
And why do you use Go High Level? I'm just curious.
Because I'm building out a remote sales team, so just wanted to actually like align the actual like calendar process, and maybe because I'm also using ActiveCampaign, so I thought we could just put it all in one.
I love that.
I mean, my team member suggested it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been on a sales call with Go High Level. I think they have nearly 10,000 people on their platform, maybe more.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The tool is pretty comprehensive, I actually don't use Go High Level, but I do know that it's used by so many agency owners. It's like extremely efficient. I mean, you really could do like practically anything through there. And then Calendly, of course. There's another company that I found out called Chili Piper that does scheduling, I think, a little better than Calendly. But I actually still use Calendly because I don't want to move away from it. It's just too sticky right now for me. But
too simple.
Was that? Yeah.
Too simple, too easy, just too complicated.
It really is.
Software is complicated.
It really is. Well, hey guys, if you don't have any other questions, if you do, feel free to ask them now. I just wanted to wind up the interview real quick. But do you guys have anything for Serge?
I got my final question. So, Serge, are you still the lead consultant in your agency, or do you now have people that are actually running your services for you?
Yeah, I'm still the main consultant in the biz.
Is there a plan to, in the next 6-12 months, to remove yourself or have other consultants so you can scale?
Yeah. See, the actual strategy that I have is turning my customers into the consultant.
There you go.
What's that strategy? Is that a white label strategy, or what's that going to look like?
No, because I feel like even my sales team, I think the best people, especially for people who are selling information, the best thing is it's hard to just take someone outside of the company and just like ramp them up on everything. So I've found that because our customers really like our stuff, so they like to ask me, hey, would you be interested if I actually started selling and maybe getting a referral? So I'm like, yeah. And for the customers who become really good at scaling their own agency, I'm like, yeah, would you be interested in taking one of our support calls and things like that? So
that's fantastic. Yeah. That's a very similar approach. I will say for anyone out there listening, maybe I shouldn't say the exact agency, but there's very large agencies that their whole goal is just consolidation. And so what they do is they either formally or informally buy out smaller companies to basically do exactly what you're saying, or they'll just make them a partner, white label them. For us, we do the same thing. So like we've done the approach where we have employees learning to close and learning to help clients pick the right services or run accounts. And we do have employees in-house that are non-agency owners, and they do serve certain functions that are valuable, and assistants as well. But it's just so much quicker to have someone who already understands everything about marketing talk about your services. So it's interesting to see you do the same approach because it's very valuable.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Well, were you going to say something? No?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll end with some final questions we typically ask people. It just 4 quick responses. First of all, what's your age? How old are you?
I'm 23.
23.
Savage.
Shit, that is savage. Good job. Well, how long have you been in the business for this business?
I mean, I quit my job in beginning of July last year. I've run this offer since November 2020.
Okay, got it. And then the last question I typically ask is, are you financed or not financed? Like, do you take on any debt or is this completely bootstrapped? Like,
Bootstrap.
good.
Let's go.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
God, 23 and bootstrap. That's awesome. Last question though.
Never been
Was
better time with the digital age.
No, it
Digital
is
Never.
crazy. It's like I definitely am down for diversification and putting my money in other places, like real estate, for instance. I'm open to that idea, but honestly, like, it just like you're printing money nowadays.
Too easy.
Like, it's too easy
Yeah,
online.
Oh, no, all of your dollars are going to go to software. We know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. But all right, last question. All right, so let's just say to get to $30,000 a month in 90 days, give me 3 bullet points, step-by-step checklist, 3 checklists on how to get there. Like, if you had to give someone a step-by-step plan with 3 steps, what would you do?
Yeah. I think it starts with what you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
So create a situational offers, meaning like go find a group of people who are in a specific painful situation and say that you can take them from where they're currently at to where they want to be. And second thing is build an outbound prospecting campaign on social platforms. The old process of using like going and scraping people's emails, I don't think that's efficient. And the third thing is the easiest way to forget 30K in 90 days, 30K in the next 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Go buy the audience of the people in a specific situation, and just tell, hey guys, like, I'm ready to save you guys. I'm here to save you, and just get them all on a call.
How can you do that? How can you
I was gonna
just go find
say.
the audience?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You mean like micro
So
acquire?
essentially, no, I mean, like, see, most of the people who are in this online space have already been sold to a product, right? A digital product, of course, anything like that. So what you do is you go and find someone who's already sold to your audience, you buy that product, and you access that audience, and you just get them to the next level.
That's smart.
That's a hack.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You know what my hack is?
I mean, people. Yeah, what is it?
Dude, I'll tell you this. You might like this. My hack is because obviously a lot of agencies work with us. My hack is I just have my assistant book meetings on other website agencies' websites, and I just say I'm looking to partner, and I have a lot of clients, and I need help with fulfillment because I do. And if they want to work with me, that's great too. But literally, she's just there going through an entire list of agency owners, booking meetings with every single person, and I know that like 20% of them will work with us. You know.
Oh shit, it's pretty good.
Well, because it's like it is actually true. Like for you too. I mean, you could make them money in a lot of ways, right? Either through referrals or working together. But like, it's true.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah, if I have an empty calendar, I'll do that.
Yeah. Well, they'll take the meeting too because it's like you're actually going to partner with them.
Like what?
So it's like it's legit. It's just like I'm looking for white label fulfillment. I'm looking for partnering. I'm looking for anything like that. And they'll show up, and then you form a relationship. You know. So, anyways, man, Serge, is your company still called Intego Media?
Yeah.
Okay, and people can find you at integomedia.com? Is that where they go?
Yeah. No, it's better if they find me on my social platforms. So my name is Serge Gatari, Serge Serge Gatari on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube.
Awesome. Well, Serge Gatari with Intego Media was able to scale Bootstrap, 23 years old, to $30,000 in 90 days. He says you could do it in less than 90 days, in 2 weeks. So take his advice and hit him up if you have any questions about Instagram. Thank you guys all for listening to or watching this episode of the Agency Scale podcast. And until next time.